The purpose of Think and Grow Rich is to explain. A compilation of the life lessons of over 500 of America's wealthiest people, Think and Grow Rich is a classic read for any aspiring entrepreneur. Their observations were whittled down to 13 guiding principles that form the basis of what Hill calls his philosophy of achievement. However, Hill stated that the goals of his book, Think and Grow Rich, were not limited to teaching readers a set of techniques for achieving success. Second, to teach the reader how to improve their effectiveness in the face of universal constants. The 13 principles of success outlined by Napoleon Hill are a philosophy of success that deserves thoughtful consideration. This summary of Think and Grow Rich will examine each of the book's 13 suggestions. To wit: 1. Want. 2. Faith. Thirdly, self-suggestions. Detailed, acquired expertise. Creativity. 5. Methodical organizing. 6. Strategic thinking. 7. Make a choice. 8. Keeping at it. Number 9. The influence of the supreme consciousness. Sex changes. 11. The unconscious. Sense. Number 12. The brain sense. Number 13. Extrasensory perception. Think and Grow Rich has become a classic for its unique blend of philosophy and spirituality, inspiring generations of business leaders, CEOs, and independent thinkers. Studying this summary of a single chapter from Think and Grow Rich will teach you how to control your thoughts and life. Motivation is the key to success. According to Hill, the way to achieve anything worthwhile is to focus relentlessly on that one objective until it is completed. Although it may take a long time, you will eventually realize your dreams if you remain focused on your goal. A simple wish will only get you far in the financial world. However, suppose you are obsessed with wealth, meticulously plan your path to success, and refuse to accept failure. In that case, you will achieve your goal of financial independence. Hill provides you with the following 6-step process in Think and Grow Rich to assist you in reaching your goals. 1. Set a hard and fast goal for your annual income. 2nd, think about what you would have to give up to get that money. Set a deadline for when you'd like to have saved that much money. 4th, figure out what steps you need to take to get started, and do them right away, regardless of how prepared you feel. Put the foregoing into a concise statement in writing. Daily, before bed and when you wake up, read this statement aloud to yourself 6 times. Imagine how different your life would be if you had this sum of money right now. Even though imagining oneself wealthy can be difficult at first, success comes only to those who are money conscious. A person who is financially astute imagines themselves to be wealthy long before they actually become so. The only way to get rich is to want it badly enough that you're willing to do anything to get it. To have faith is to imagine and expect that one's goals will be realized. You need to train your mind to adopt a faithful outlook. Autosuggestion is the process of inducing a desired state of belief in oneself by repeatedly suggesting that one assume that state. Constantly thinking about the same idea causes it to become ingrained in the subconscious, where it can cause an endless loop of thinking. Of course, this also has the potential for unintended adverse effects. We can train ourselves to think positively, but we can also introduce ourselves to think negatively, leading to self-defeating beliefs like "I'm not good enough," "I'll never amount to anything," and so on. Therefore, according to Hill's logic, our beliefs are the sole determinants of our subconscious makeup. Success can be programmed into your subconscious through positive self-talk, known as affirmations. The mind takes on the characteristics of its primary influences. Faith is the foundation of success, and a positive outlook fosters faith. What is the single biggest thing keeping you from reaching your goals? Indifference or lack of belief in one's own abilities. If you want to boost your confidence, Hill suggests practicing the following 5-step affirmation exercise from Think and Grow Rich, first on paper and then by heart. Believe in your own abilities and make a steadfast commitment to working toward your goal. Your reality will shift as a direct result of the thoughts that dominate your mind. Consequently, you need to devote 30 minutes a day to contemplate the kind of person you want to develop into. 3. Devote 10 minutes a day to boosting your self-assurance. Describe your ideal outcome in writing, and keep pushing forward until you've reached it. 5th, understand that success achieved dishonestly is not sustainable. Therefore, pledge to only enter into a deal if it is mutually beneficial. No amount of negativity toward other people will ever lead to any achievement. In order to achieve success, memorize this procedure and recite it aloud once daily. When appropriately used, autosuggestion can be an effective tool for altering one's subconscious. To suggest something to oneself is to engage in autosuggestion. It connects the two parts of your brain, the conscious and the subconscious. Nothing will change if you just read the text out loud. In order to convey feeling with words, you must do so. For the affirmations to work, as described in the previous chapter, you must actively let your desires consume you as you recite them. In order for your subconscious to take action, it must feel something. As a result, Hill suggests supplementing the 6 steps outlined in the chapter on the desire of Think and Grow Rich with the following. First, find a place where you won't be interrupted and read your statement out loud. Picture yourself in possession of the money as you do so. 2. Do this first thing in the morning and the last thing at night until you have a crystal clear mental picture of all the money you hope to earn. 3. Keep this statement in a prominent location where you will see it first thing in the morning and before bed. Learn it by heart by reading it repeatedly. Subject matter expertise, first-hand experience/observations. You can learn either a specific skill or a broad body of information. If your goal is to amass wealth, then general knowledge will only help you a little. Money can only be made from the inside if it is first organized and then targeted toward a specific goal. In order to make it big, you need expert-level knowledge within a particular field. Hill suggests forming a mastermind group to share information when the task at hand is too complex for any one person to handle alone. Your team members should have the information you need and be easily managed to help you succeed. The mind's creative powerhouse is the imagination. Your mind is the birthplace of all your schemes. The extent to which your imagination can take you is the only thing holding you back. Hill distinguishes between synthetic and creative vision. Your ability to use synthetic imagination allows you to create novel outcomes by reworking pre-existing ideas, plans, and concepts. This style of creativity utilizes already established concepts, so nothing new is generated. Guesswork and random chance are fertile ground for creative thought. It's a breeding ground for creative thinking. Only when your conscious mind is being stimulated by desire can you reach this level of imagination. Like any other muscle, it needs to be worked out and strengthened. All great wealth has its origins in an individual's creative thinking. Taking a look at the origins of some of the most iconic brands in history, like Coca-Cola, can be instructive. In fact, a shrewd merchant understands that intangible concepts can be exchanged in places where physical goods cannot. The meeting of a person with a great idea and a person who sells ideas is usually the starting point for a substantial fortune. Ideas are powerful things, especially when combined with the will to see them through. The minds that built them have been eclipsed by their own creations. So, pay attention, nurture, and grow an appetite for seeing them through. Methodical preparation, transforming aspiration into action. Hill suggests using the 4 steps outlined in Think and Grow Rich to put your plan into action. First, form a mastermind group with supportive individuals who can assist you in realizing your goals. 2. Determine what you can give each member of the group in exchange for their time and effort before putting together the team. 3. Have regular group meetings, ideally once a week but more often if necessary, until a workable strategy is developed. Stay on good terms with the crew at all times. Working with others is essential to achieving financial success. No one has what it takes to succeed all by themselves. If, at first, you don't succeed, try again until you find something that does. Thomas Edison tried out roughly 10,000 different designs for the incandescent light bulb before finally getting it right. His success stemmed from the fact that he never gave up, and when one plan failed, he quickly came up with another. The key to financial security is shrewd planning. Making a call, procrastination artfully honed. Hill concluded that a lack of decision, i.e., procrastination, was a significant contributor to failure after reviewing data gathered from interviews with over 25,000 people. The most effective individuals are those who can make swift and firm choices. People who have trouble making choices are often swayed by the comments of those around them. Hill, however, claims that a lack of willpower and consequent inability to succeed is the result of an individual being too easily convinced. Get to know your own judgment and only rely on reliable resources for information. Fast decision makers are crystal clear on their goals and have the plan to achieve them. Those who convey confidence in their direction are accorded more respect. The guts required to make a choice. Those who lack fear rarely become wealthy. The consistent effort required to win believers. It takes a strong will to be persistent. Few things can stand between you and your goals if you have the desire and the willpower to see them through. When items become difficult, most people give up. The only way to succeed is to keep going even when things get tough. You can get over your lack of persistence if you make an honest effort to do so. Your motivation to succeed will ultimately determine how long you can keep at it. Hill recommends here that you bring to mind your daily affirmations. And if you've chosen your mastermind members wisely, they can help keep you motivated and on track. When it comes to developing perseverance, Hill recommends following a specific 8-step plan outlined in Think and Grow Rich. This is how it breaks down. 1. Must have a clear goal in mind to achieve it. 2nd, you have an obsession with accumulating wealth. 3rd, independence, self-confidence helps you stick to your goals. 4. Clearly defined objectives, well-thought-out plans that detail each step help you confidently move forward. 5. Correct information, make well-informed decisions. 6th, working with others, mastermind members can provide moral support if they need it. The ability to focus one's thoughts and energies to carry out a course of action is an example of willpower. 8. Routine, habit is the direct cause of perseverance. How you spend your time regularly shapes your identity. The only way to permanently defeat fear is to consistently put it to the test by taking bold action. Strength in the supreme intellect, the force behind everything. You need authority if you want to amass wealth. No planning will amount to anything without the ability to carry them out. According to Hill, there are 3 means of storing power. 1. Infinite intelligence. Extensive background knowledge. 3. Test and investigate. Knowledge becomes a strength when it is structured into actionable plans. While this is true, more is needed for learning. If you want to succeed with your dreams, you'll need to consult with other people who know more than you do. The collective intelligence of your mastermind group is a powerful resource. Almost all of history's greatest fortunes were built on the foundation of cooperative alliances. When people work together, they can accomplish more than they could individually. Sex transmutation, the 10th step to financial freedom. Transmutation is changing the form of one element or energy into another. Hill claims that sexual desire is the driving force behind all other human behavior. People are willing to risk their lives and their reputations to satisfy this craving. If this sexual energy is channeled elsewhere, however, according to Hill, it can have a much more profound impact. He acknowledges that it requires a lot of discipline but says it's well worth it in the end. Hill is quick to clarify that he is not arguing that sexual desire should be suppressed but should be channeled into activities that positively affect one's mind, body, and spirit. Astonishing originality emerges as a byproduct of conducting one's sexual energy differently. Humans have a sixth sense that Hill calls creative imagination. We are the source of our creativity, but it doesn't follow our lead. Artists who are great at listening to that still small voice inside themselves are the ones who succeed. This is true of all creative and business leaders. The unconscious as a bridge builder. You can't force your mind to think a certain way, but you can suggest what you'd like it to focus on. Nonetheless, habit is the only method by which conscious control over the subconscious can be achieved. Your subconscious mind is constantly at work, so it's essential to be mindful of the unhelpful ideas and routines you allow to lodge there. You need to take steps to disengage from those who bring you down and instead train your mind to focus on the things you truly want. Having an emotion accompany your thoughts makes them more accessible to your subconscious. Hill claims that rational thought never leads to behavior change. Because of this, they are learning the characteristics of both negative and positive feelings is essential. According to Hill, our emotions are like the yeast in a loaf of bread because they stimulate activity, or in other words, they cause the bread to rise. Whether a loaf of bread is made with a positive or negative emotion determines whether it will be exceptional or disastrous. The brain is a thought-transmitting and receiving center. Hill firmly believed that one's brain could hear the thought vibrations of other people's brains. However, he suggested that only thoughts stepped up to an extremely high rate of vibration could be transmitted from one mind to another. Hill claims that sex transmutation raises the frequency of one's thoughts. Hill suggests practicing the art of autosuggestion to develop your subconscious mind and creative imagination to maximize the effectiveness of your mental broadcasting abilities. Sixth sense, key to the palace of knowledge. Hill believed that when one's subconscious was operating at an exceptionally high, positive frequency, one could make contact with infinite intelligence. However, He also claims that infinite intelligence can reach people even if they still need to prepare themselves mentally. Hill considers imaginative creativity to be the sixth sense. Hill thought what others called insights or gut feelings divinely inspired guidance from the universe. The sixth sense is a blend of the rational and the ethereal. When you tune into the warnings of your intuition, you'll know when to take cover and when to strike. It protects the area like an angel. Hill claims that his book's readers who have accepted his premise up to this point will have no trouble believing in the sixth sense. The realization of the other principles precedes the development of the capacity to tune into this power. Challenging the six demons of panic. Hill says that before implementing the philosophy outlined here, you must ensure that you aren't being held back by any of the six basic fears. Here are the six phobias. 1. Laziness, uncertainty, doubt, worry, excessive caution, and postponing essential decisions out of fear of financial hardship. Second, the inability to take risks because of a fear of being judged harshly. Hypochondria, lack of physical activity, vulnerability, self-pity, and excess alcohol and drug use all illustrate the third fear of becoming ill. 4. Jealousy, fault-finding, and gambling all stem from a primal fear of being unloved. 5. The fear of old age, manifested by a loss of energy and confidence after age 40, the apologetic labeling of oneself as old, and the stifling of initiative, creativity, and independence. Fear of death, as demonstrated by a preoccupation with death rather than living, apathy, and a lack of meaningful work. Looking at these categories, you can see how Hill classifies every phobia. Fearful thoughts can never lead to actions that result in significant financial gain because all emotionalized ideas translate into physical activity. A person need only direct their thoughts to overcome their fears. In this way, you can alter the course of your life, conquer your fears, and amass as much wealth as your heart desires simply by training your mind to do so.